Like, do you have these apps if you are horror? Or like this doing instead? Let me give a drink or give some Coke around here. Let's find out. Or like they doing instead? Where's the cup? Then have a drink. Oh, the Coca-Cola. Dad, can you give me a Coca-Cola, please? Dad have Coca-Cola?
Hold on, no, wait, other one.
Dad?
Okay, I'll get it.
Coca-Cola? Oh, good. Good. Now have a drink. Or do I want to do this?
Didn't have any last night when I went.
Hey, you, over there, give me a kiss.
What's it like to have no hair? All the hair, should I say. And the chocolates are still in there.
Oh, boiling, I keep sweating.
So sudden. Here we go. Let's point it. Now have a drink. Now I have a Coca-Cola.
No.
And let's see how we get to do its scripts. Have a drink now. So there is Coca-Cola. Here we go.
Let's take these kids app icons and make them horror themed, starting with the YouTube Kids app. We're gonna start off easy, but the last icon might keep you awake tonight, so let's get started. First, I masked out the YouTube Kids logo and changed the background to white, so it still feels friendly for about half a second. Then I added a zombie arm that's literally pressing the play button, because if we need something to start a video, it might as well be that. I gave the logo a drop shadow to lift it off the background, and then I added a contact and ambient shadow to the arm so it actually feels like it belongs in the scene. And once everything felt grounded, I painted some blood coming out of the logo itself and added a little more onto the arm. Just enough so you know what kind of video this is. Alright, let's move on. The next tab is Maze for Kids, and in the original icon, there's a rat trying to find cheese. So I flipped the idea. Instead of cheese, I added a blood trail running through the maze. At the end of that trail, I placed garbage bags against the wall, and yes, there are body parts inside. To push the story a little further, I added a lake next to the bags as if whoever did this is about to get rid of the evidence. This kind of makes me feel like I'm watching Dexter. After cleaning up the lake with the clone stamp tool, I placed a figure in a throwing pose and added one more garbage bag above him right before it goes into the water. So yeah, still a maze, just not for rats anymore. And this one already had a face, so obviously I had to make it evil. First, I used generative fill to remove the mouth. Then I turned the truck completely black. I removed the original eyebrows and drew an angrier. Jesus. Once manually before
It looks like a shade. Do you think?
cleaning up the old eyes underneath. Now the front of the truck was perfect for the teeth, so I made a selection, filled it with black, and clipped triangle shapes into it to create a full set of teeth. Then I matched the shadows from the eyes so everything stayed consistent and turned the water splashes red, because now it's blood. After that, I added dripping blood on the back of the truck, warped it into perspective, and pulled an arm out of the mouth using puppet warp. Seriously, is this sometimes getting out of control, or am I the only one who feels this way? Let me know in the comments. Once the arm was in place, I added shadows where it touches the truck, and shadows on the arm itself so it actually feels wrapped around the metal. Then came more blood.
You sure it doesn't? That's the only thing I want to do this.
Highlights, depth, and darker splashes in the back because it was way too bright for a horror icon. I separated the truck from the background and placed it on a red to black radial gradient to finish it off. And yeah, this thing definitely eats people. Like this video if you don't want to be eaten by an evil truck tonight. Thank you. Now let's move on. This one took a while, especially because my dumbass forgot to start the recording again. The idea was to turn the dentist icon into something that feels dead and he just casually needs to see a dentist for his teeth. I started with basic shapes for the mouth and teeth and clipped everything properly before touching any color. Then I added shadows between the teeth to create separation, shadows inside the mouth for depth, and shadows on the teeth themselves. Once that was done, I turned the teeth yellow because, well, we all know this is purely out of jealousy. Then I added the eyes and spent an unreasonable amount amount of time adding shadows across the entire icon because I always have to feel so extra. This is where most of the work went, so instead of watching me suffer, this part turns into a quick shadow montage.
That becomes a flipping upside down. Wait, the side just moved? Let's try around. Oh, good. Do you think this is one of the most? My screen show will upside down. What? Dizzy do? It's pushily. But there's fast racers. I think your phone looks like this. It stands. What? Around. It's flipped now. The diagonal stripes are upside down? What's going on? Whoop, I spilled this. There's more Coke left. But there's only 25 bills of cup left. Ooh. No spill. Not to spill. Now it's only 20 left. I'm going to show you to do this upside down. There you go. Whoa.
Finally,
Now we're going to raise it upside down. Okay. Oh.
after that, I added blood and brought back the drill from the original icon so it still reads as a dentist app. And honestly, this one came together pretty well.
Whoa.
Alright, final app. Baby games, piano and baby phone. This was always meant to be the worst one. I started with a sketch, refined the proportions, and then I built the character from scratch using shapes. The color palette stayed simple, black and red. Once all the shapes were in place, I started adding shadows to everything. Head, body, arms, legs, everything. Again. Then I started working on the mouth. I begin with the tongue and added the teeth, build out the gums, and finish it off with saliva stretching between everything. After that, I added the eyes and the nostrils and gave the arms metal braces with shadows underneath so they actually feel embedded into the character.
God.
Now for the fun part. I masked out the baby phone screen and
Baby phone screen is gone. Like the demon. There's any shovels here. Cups be rollable. Or why they around this board. This is pretty weird. In the center, you can't see it here. I'm here now. That wasn't me.
it's the demon coming out of it. Then I added orange highlights as if the light is coming from inside the device. Then I
Someone else.
warped the arm into
Someone
the
else
keypad,
is
masked
in the key. Someone else is in the phone.
cleanly and desaturated it to black and white. After, I added shadows wherever the demon touches the edges. To keep some contrast, I painted the color back into one of the buttons and added glow to the eyes. Then came blood, a bloom effect, and finally a camera raw filter to bring it all together.
Camera raw
And that's it.
filter?
Let me know in the comments which Kid app icon was the worst. And if you enjoyed the
I've enjoyed this video. Good. Now let's move on to what is this? Apps horror now.
Google Play Points open up a world of rewards. The more you play, the more points you can earn. And the more you earn, the more epic rewards you can score. Redeem now.
Okay, but this is the easiest design of the entire video, especially compared to the final icon.
Now let's do this.
Let's take these app icons and make them horror themed, starting with the Notes app. And all we really have to do is change the color at the top and give it a name. Okay, but this is the easiest design of the entire video,
Yeah, that's Death Note. Yeah, the Death Note looks like that.
especially compared to the final icon. So let's move on to Safari. First, we need to change the
Oh.
color of the compass
Oh, no.
and add back the needle thing with a drop shadow. Now I'll just go around the bottom of the compass with
Around
a
the
darker
bottom of
red,
the
kind of
compass?
like it's filled with blood
What do
or
you mean?
Kool-Aid if that's what you want to think. But I'll add some more drippy parts to make it look
Kool-Aid.
like it's sloshing around. And after that, I'll add some shadows around the edge of the liquid to give it some more depth. And then just do the same, but with highlights. Finally, I'll change the blending mode to overlay so we can see all the ticks. So here is Safari, but horror.
Safari, but horror now.
We still have YouTube and Discord at the end of the video, but first, let's make a horror version of the weather app. I'll start
It's
by
weather
changing the background colors to look more gloomy before copying the cloud and changing its color. After that, I'll take the rain and make it red, like blood, but we're still missing the sun. Well, actually, we're gonna use the moon. So I'll add the moon and then
So, that was gonna even more. You're gonna try these apps if they were horror.
Let's take these app icons and make them horror themed.
I think this is good. How many horrors are there?
We're starting easy with Balloon Pop. First, I'll erase the... Let's take these kids' app icons and make them horror themed. We're starting easy with Balloon Pop. First, I'll erase the original balloon and bring in a more realistic one. I'll use the Puppet Warp tool to bend the string so it fits the actual shape of the original icon. Following that, I need a hand that looks like it's actually holding the string. So I'll bring